Hey guys, Stag here, and welcome to a brand new video. This video is an announcement video for an upcoming hot seat on my Discord server, and the theme of this hot seat is of course Divide and Conquer. We're just using the 4.6 mod because it's just sort of easy for hot seats, and I've done a few little changes myself to make it compatible. There is actually a campaign script we are using, which is something I've actually forgotten to put in the... I just realised I've forgotten to put in here. But I'll make sure to link that separately. But yes, there's a new campaign script and Desktop strat, which has both been edited. Death strat by myself and the campaign script by another user. I'm not quite sure what his name was, but he made the script a while back. By a while back, I think like a year or so ago, I think. I think he originally made it for 4.5, but I've made sure to make sure it should hopefully work for 4.6. Is the idea. But yes, the hot seat itself is called the War of the Ring hot seat, but for all intents and purposes, you can just call it Divide and Conquer hot seat. It's just easier. So yes, this is the first time I've actually done a video. You may remember I did like a little hot seat draw video for like the Kingdoms War hot seat, which is still on the way. Still ongoing. But this time has come for a new hot seat on Divide and Conquer. Now, at the moment, a lot of hot seats have ended. These are all the hot seats that I've recently finished up. This is about to be announced. The ending for this is this one here. It's about to be announced. But yes, it's a lot of hot seats and I basically do them. Before I was admin for a bunch of hot seats. No longer anymore. I'm now sort of the hot seat director. And I'm sort of the one that just hosts them and all that. Later down the line, some other users will be able to host hot seats. But for the time being, I'll just be doing the hosting and setting up phase. But yes, onto this hot seat. There will of course be other hot seats that are coming. At the moment, we've only got like 4 ongoing, so which is a hell of a shock. Because we used to have loads of ongoing hot seats, but it's just got it's just so busy that I didn't have the time to really. We had so many other hot seats ongoing that to the point where I just didn't have the time to even keep them going. Which eventually led to my sort of resignation as admin for most of the hot seats. I'm still in charge of these 3 for the time being, but when those end, that's it. I'm done. But yeah, so the recruitment phase, obviously there's a bunch of factions available. I'll go through them in a minute, but I'll run through the little prelude thing first off. So of course to join this hot seat, you have to go to my Discord. Link to the Discord is in the description of this video and pretty much everywhere on YouTube. So you should be able to get to it easily. Once you get there, you'll come from the mustering grounds and then eventually you'll have like this role. So to join the hot seat, well, you can just join it wherever, but essentially what will happen is that I will assign you to one of the faction kingdoms that we have on the server. And that's sort of like the whole... So basically what happens is that when you win a hot seat, you get points awarded to certain factions. So you can join the mages, the dwarfs, men of the west, and was the other one, the elves as well. So go to Fortress of the Realm. That will show you the basic details about each of these factions and kingdoms, and how many points you can get for certain things, and who's in charge of the factions, and a bit about the different kingdoms themselves. And you've got a list archive, which shows how many people are in each faction. So, how many people are a part of that one, and the total faction members as well. And then you got the Stag Guard, which is sort of like the Royal Guard or King's Guard, I suppose, but they sort of have their own. So there's like 2 members of each guard. So 2 members are from. So you got Danny, for example, and who's the other one? And Bolga, who's both in the dwarfs. So there's like 2 different. So, dwarfs, elves, mages, and the men. And then you have sort of the people who are in charge and the higher up admins and stuff like that. And you also have the past high ranking members. So the ones that have left, I put a little sort of remembrance thing, I suppose. And you've got the scoreboard. As you can see, the mages are currently in the lead. And that's the hero shrine, which goes through and shows who's what... It basically is like an archive of what hot seats have ended and who did what and etc. But yeah, that's a little quick brief overview. But yes, anyone can join this hot seat, provided that you are active and you don't join the hot seat and then bugger off like 2 weeks, which I've had before. But yes, I'll go for the different channels. So the information chamber is obviously where everything is listed. You have the War of the Ring, which is the title of the hot seat. You have a little picture. You have the prelude, so it basically explains it's Divide and Conquer hot seat set in 2980 of the Third Age, just under 40 years before the events of the War of the Ring. This, of course, is a teams-based hot seat, so essentially good versus evil, basically. And now at the end of the hot seat, so say if the good factions defeat the evil factions, what will happen is that if obviously the majority of players is open to doing this, as I will offer a civil war between the good factions to get you some more points, and for those if they want to carry on the hot seat a bit more. And then, of course, for those that aren't familiar with the lore, I'd recommend check out this lore video. Civilization X does some great lore videos, and that's probably the best place I'd recommend to familiarize yourself with the lore. And of course, below is a link to install the mod we'll be using along with the Death Star strat file, which is basically a few changes so that Khazad-dûm and DR9 start off with actual troops, because they didn't for some reason. So what else is there? Yes, so, and of course there's an installation guide and the mod page to where you can install DAC version 4.6. At some point what I will do is, so prior to the hot seat starting, I will send everyone the campaign script, which is just so people can't, well no, I'll send the campaign script separately to each user. That's what I'll do, because I stupidly forgot to put in this message and I can't just add it back in. So of course you'll need the Death Star strat. Just drag that over to the to where the Imperial campaign folder is, and just overwrite it with the current one. And then of course install that. Obviously you install version 4.6 first, and then obviously there's an installation guide by Arika Galadirathon, who are the former head of the mine team. So just go on that video there, and that will take you to show you how to install it. Don't worry, I know it says version 4.5. It is still going to work, so don't worry about that. Moving on to the player list. So right now, obviously, I'm the hot seat director. So basically, that is sort of I'm not in charge of admin stuff. I'm still around to check everything's running smoothly, and I can do things if and when necessary. But the main admin duties is going to be down to the other players. So the primary admin who can't now obviously we are recruiting for a primary admin, but that admin cannot take part in the hot seat at all, because the whole point of the primary admin is so that when he makes a decision, it's non-bias. It's non-bias? Yeah. So non-bias. So he's not involved, so he's not playing Gondor and, like, obviously wants Mordor to fail. So you're not going to have that, which is the whole point of it. Because otherwise, if you're the admin and you can control Gondor, you can just decide to give yourself money at any point during the campaign, or you can just decide to kill off another faction and a few consoles if you wanted to. Like, it's just so dodgy. There are other people that will have the admin password, but obviously those people won't even dare try and screw around, because naturally we'll find out who they are, and that's the end of them. And obviously that's the primary admin's job, to keep an eye on people, keep an eye on the other admins as well as everyone else in the hot seat, to make sure everyone is playing fairly. So yeah, it's very important that the primary admin is non-biased. And obviously moving down into the factions. Now, of course, there are actually some neutral factions, such as Erend, Wife, and the Adonai. Now, because of balancing reasons, I put them on the evil faction side. Because otherwise, it would just be ridiculous. It would be so unbalanced, because you've got 7 pairings here, and then you've got 6 pairings down here. And it would just be so it'd be just so overpowered for the. So instead of Erend's Wife and the Adonai on the good faction side, it would just so overpowered. I just don't think it'd be fair. So that's why those two neutral factions are on the evil side. And then of course you've got the rules. Now I'm not going to go through every single rules, but the standard rules is that this hot seat in particular is a manually resolved hot seat. So you basically fight as you would normally in the campaign. But you have to have at least 1 to 2 odds on the battle screen bar. Let me see if I can show you an example. Hang on. There you go. So that's the Navy one. See if I can find an Army one. So if I use this example here, so 2 to 3 odds. I know this is not resolved hot seat. Actually, let me go to the Kingdom's War hot seat, because that actually does have the. Yes, yeah, here we go. So there you go, 3 to 4. So if it's 1 to 2 odds, then yeah, it's a little difficult to explain. But so say if it's 1 to 2, it's 3 to 4. That's sort of how it works. And yes. And as you can see, if I go to this screenshot, you can see he actually had a battle against these guys. And the whole point of the 1 to 2 rule is to stop people, say if you've got 1 cavalry unit versus 1 full stack. Now, certain players obviously can't do it. I can't, for example. But people can use 1 cavalry unit, and if you watch Legend of Turtle War, he does it. 1 cavalry unit, and you can basically kill off the entire full stack in 1 battle. And that's just to stop that happening, because it's just ridiculous. And of course you have defeats, so you can't just like, so say if you're playing as an army, say if you're playing as a faction, you can't just do a battle and then make sure that you are defeated. So you can't do that. And of course if it's a draw, then that's of course fine. That's another rule about the armies, and so so I'll let people read through. I'm not going to read through all this, it'll just take me fucking forever. And the video will be like 30 minutes long. So I won't bother. But that's the rules, so go through them and read them as you like. There's a few little diplomacy rules, map rules, agent rules, Discord rules, and so on. So I'll let you read through that. Now what's going to happen, and this is the main change, is that there's going to be, you have to control 2 factions. So the reason that is because if we were to get 1 player for 1 faction, we'd need at least 26 players. And 26 players is very hard to come by. So we're just not going to do that, because, and especially with how players are in the past, where some players would join the hot seat and then leave, which does happen. So instead of 26 players, we already need 13 players, which is just much better and more viable, I think. So yeah, so how it will work is you go to lobby square here, and you basically put in 3 faction pairings. So say if, for example, Gondor and Rohan win, I'll get into the random name picker in a second. So say if it's Gondor and Rohan, and Dol Amroth and no, obviously not the no. So say if it's Dol Amroth, Gondor, Rohan, Lothlorien, Woodland Realm, and Anduin, you type in 3 factions in order of preference. So say if you want to play Gondor and Rohan first, or Gondor and Dol Amroth first, sorry, you put in those first, and then the order of, so say Rohan, Lothlorien, and then the Anduin and the Woodland Realm, you put that in. That's the order you want to do. Prior to the hot seat starting, you will be sent privately a start save, and this is basically a start save so that you can look throughout the hot seat. So you can look at everyone's, so you can see the turn order and everything going on, which I'll send later down the line. Now this turn obviously is for play testing, so if you want to test to see if everything works properly, please do, and all that. What else is there? So that's that. Obviously, Lobby Square is a place for you to suggest ideas and discussing the hot seat there. Please do not type messages here. I will probably delete them, because what's the point of the lobby chat if you just go to the submission channel and talk there? And also because this is the place where screenshots are sent, so battle screenshots, turns are sent. So it's very crucial that you do not type here, because otherwise people can't find their turns and can't check screenshots and things. So yeah, that's the submission channel. The lobby square is obviously the main general chat for the hot seat, which I mentioned earlier. Diplomacy stand is, of course, the channel where people make diplomacy messages. Let me see if I can find some examples. I guess this is a decent enough example. No, let's find another one. This one here has been useless because no one's been doing that at all. Let me find, where is it? I saw some decent RP a while back. What was it? Oh yes, this one here. Where is it? Yeah, it's also the place where Han sends his funny videos, which is, sure, that's fine. So obviously you make channel purposes of roleplay and making story summaries of your turns, or you can send videos. That's allowed too. Yeah, that's fine. As you see, Wolf did a bit of RP here with the killing of one of the French faction leaders. This is actually Hotseat that's going to be getting that Hotseat overview soon at some point. You can do a Warpath announcement. You can do some announcement here with Potato or MT Explore. And he did a nice little bit of RP about his faction, which I always love the RP. I always love seeing the RP. It's always really cool. Even a little poem that's allowed. Yeah, it's always lovely to see people RPing and making lore and all that, and making their own little story summary as well. I think that's always great to see, and I do love to see that in Hotseats. Right, so these channels here are the group chat. So say if you're in the good faction team, you'll be on this. You have your own little channel. Let's just say people having to make their own little group chat and things. So the Enlarger's White Tower is of course a channel for good factions, as AMR did ask earlier. What, 5 days ago? Barad-dûr Temple is of course the faction for evil factions. Titus of course there. One thing I will mention is, of course, there are some players that will have and these guys here are co-admins. Co-admins, I'm happy for them to play in the hot seat, as long as they don't cheat. If they do cheat, they will be dealt with. They will be dealt with painfully. And as long as the primary admin who's in charge is non-biased, that's completely fine. So yes, we are looking for 11 players, because these two are already playing, as far as I know, unless they don't. But yes, anyone and everyone is welcome to sign up. Just go to the Discord, go to Lobby Square, type in the 3 pairings that you want to play, and go from there. That's the way we're going to do it. I know for a fact AMO and Titus, I think Titus wants Mordor, and so Titus wants Mordor, and AMO wants at least 3 of the elven pairs, although we could count Dwynnin as well. So keep in mind, those 2 want the main factions. Those 2 want those factions, so keep in mind for that. And of course, there are actually some people that have already reserved. So some people that are on the Discord have already put up their interest, and I pinned their messages, so they will get a sort of... They'll basically get a message prior to this video going up, so they'll be able to put in what pairings they want. I've done a little video, message up here to an FAQ for people that want to know certain things that I won't list here. But I will go through that actually. So obviously you will need to install Divide and Conquer 4.6. This will be a manual hot seat, but some restrictions will be in place that one unit can't kill a full stack, and it isn't unbalanced. Neutral faction like Aaron's wife and the R9 will be evil, as well as factions that can choose to change sides will need to remain on the default sides. So Aerith Lewin obviously has a ring script, which makes them go either evil or good. So for this hot seat, they will just go good, and the same with Canned, they will just stay evil. Now, the ring script is enabled and should hopefully work. If in the event it does not, then I will make up some objectives for Mordor and spawn in Sauron as a reward. So I'll just say to Mordor, take Minas Tirith and Karis Galadhon, and then you get Sauron, basically. That's what I do. So 2 factions must be controlled by 1 player, so we can fill the map. The different pairings will be decided through a wheel spinner, which I'll show in a moment. And obviously it won't be 1 good faction and 1 evil faction in it. It will always be 2 good or evil factions. And of course the announcement video, which didn't go up yesterday, but will go up today, hopefully. Or later today. That's basically it, really. So I'll jump over to this. And obviously this is the map of the game. Gondor, Rohan, Darmroth, Ardenheim, Harad, Mordor, Canned, Rune, Dwynnin, Dale, Erebor, Woodland Realm, Dol Guldur, Anduin Vale, Gundabad, Angmar, Khazad-dûm, Lothlorien, Isengard, Dunland, Goblins of Moria, Imladris, and the whole High Elves, I suppose. Northern Dunedain, the Bree, Aerith Lewin, and Ed Waif. So it's bad that I know all these factions off by heart, isn't it? As you will notice, I did actually change the names of the factions, so what I will do prior to the hot seat starting is I probably will send you a names file as well. So a names file and campaign script is what I will send to the players individually. In theory, I should have sent it onto this, but I'm not going to be sending that message again. But yeah, so I've changed, so some of the names are different. So Dunedain of Eredor, so instead of Northern Dunedain, I've changed them to Dunedain of Eredor, because it's more clear. Conclave of Breland, so Conclave is basically like a sort of council thing. So like a group of like councilmen, similar to like how the College of Cardinals, if I use an example from the papacy, or the Vatican City. So they're Conclave of Breland, which I kind of like. You got the Realm of Imladris and Linden, because they are otherwise known as High Elves. Instead of the Woodland Realm, they're the Realm of Eren Garland for these guys. Lothlorien is still the Realm of Lothlorien. The Vale, the Winning Vale, Anduin is the same, or is it Vine? No, I'm pretty sure it's the same. Ered Lewin, I'm pretty sure it's just tribes. Is it tribes or is it just Ered Lewin? I'm using the wrong example. So Ered Lewin is obviously known as the Dwarfs of Ered Lewin, but in this they're going to be called the Clans of Ered Lewin. Now obviously in the Hotseat you can change the name yourselves, but this is just the basic default names. And you got the Lordship of Khazad-dûm, so instead of Dwarfs of Khazad-dûm, it's the Lordship of Khazad-dûm because Balin is High Lord, so it makes sense that they are lords. And they are in fact, in turn, a lordship. You got the Kingdom of Erebor, so instead of Dwarfs of Erebor, they are now the Kingdom of Erebor. Then you got the evil factions, so Mordor is the Shadow of Mordor, and Dol Guldur is the Shadow of Mirkwood, which is a name I like. Isengard is of course known as the Dark Realm of Isengard. Gundabad is the Kingdom of Gundabad because Mazog is their king. Angmar is known as the Witch Realm of Angmar, which is a name I love. It's actually the name they put in for the AGO submod, but we're not using that submod. Moria, the Goblins of Moria is going to be known as the Dominion of Moria. Dunland is known as the Tribes of Dunland. Endwife is the Clans of Endwife. Khand is the various of Khand, so default name. Easlings of Rune, default name. And Tribes of, I think it's Tribes of Harad, is it? No, it's Haradrim Tribes, but in this I've called them the Tribes of Haradwaif. Haradwaif is the full name of Harad, by the way. And then the Ardnaim is just their default name. I don't think it needs to be changed. So yes, that's, my god, 20 minutes. Jesus. I do have a bit of a bad back, so I'm alright sitting down, but now and again if I turn, my back hurts a bit, so I'm trying to be careful. And on the turn 1 map, so this is just obviously shows the turn 1 map. So essentially map updates will occur every 10 turns and will be posted in this channel below. So turn 10 will be below and then turn 20 and so on. Let me show you an example. This is a good example because this is a big Hotseat, which ended the world. This is actually the first ever Hotseat that I ever hosted. So yeah. So you got turn 1 map, and then below you got turn 10. And then you got turn 20, turn 30, turn 40. So essentially I'll ping the Hotseat roll so everyone that's in the Hotseat can see it. And then this is what the final turn will look like. So the Age of Empires Hotseat participants. And then so at the end of the Hotseat I will post the final turn. And then turn 60, turn 50, turn 40, so on. So, I'm going to grab a drink of my hot chocolate, and we will dive into this. So essentially, I put a bit of rum in this just to make the pain better. I am swallowing tablets. I couldn't speak for a second. I am swallowing tablets for painkillers because this back. I woke up this morning and it felt so fucking terrible, and it's just not fun. Hopefully I feel a bit better, because otherwise I won't be going to work tomorrow morning. That won't happen. So yes, we're using the wheel spinner. So what will happen is that I will spin the wheel twice. I'll spin the wheel as much as I can, and then I'll type in the parent on this little notepad here. One really cool thing about this little wheel spinner is that you can actually sort out the different. So you can type in the different factions, and you can sort them out as well. You can shuffle them, which is really cool. And something we'll do. So, what's his results? That was something I can look at that. That's quite handy, actually. So, after I've spun each option, what I will then do is take out that option from the wheel spinner. So yes. So what will happen is that I will list. So the parents were listed here, and I'll probably put on the I'll probably put it on the player list. So I'll change it around and put the parents in there so people can select them directly. Something I will do in the submission district, which is something that a suggestion was brought up by High Lord Wall to Wall. Interesting name. And he brought up the fact that the player list should also be in the submission district, so when people are putting their turns down, they can where is it? And also there's late strike, so if you miss the deadline for when to play, you get a late strike. And if you get any more, if you get like 4 late strikes, you get removed from the Hotseat. So, yeah. Is it here? No, it's just a bunch of late strikes. And also, if you defeat other factions, you get points. Is there? Can I find it somewhere? I don't think I can. I don't think I've done it before, but yeah. But yeah, so when you select a turn, you can just click the pinned messages, and it will show the turn order. Right now, the message is there; it's just blank. So yeah, let's begin. So first of all, we will shuffle it so it goes into a random order, so it's a bit more fair like that. So I can't really give you any more than this. It's just going to be me spinning the wheel and putting it into names, basically. So without further ado, let us begin. I do hope that some of you will understand this. If you don't, feel free to post a comment saying, "I'm not too sure about this. Can you explain a bit more?" And I'm happy will do. But the best places to get me is over on Discord, because I will answer you there. So first of all is the Veil of Dwynnian, which we'll remove from the list, and I will post the Veil of Dwynnian into. So essentially, this is basically, it's easy for me to do it by me actually showing you how I do it. Oh, that's not what I want to do. There you go, that's better. So Veil of Dwynnian, so Veil of Dwynnian, and then the next faction that wins will be the pairing you can choose together. What I may do is probably off camera come up with a few like little names. That would be pretty cool. I might do that. So we might do that. Yeah. Of course, when we get 13 players, then the hot seat will probably start sometime after. Obviously, I'll probably do a few fix-ups, like the changing the turn order. Which just makes me think, actually, I'm going to have to... Actually, no. No, the death strat, what's interesting about it is that the death strat, you don't actually have to install it for it to work. So technically, me sending you the death strat here is kind of a waste of time, but whatever. I'll send it anyway, because I know people will probably ask, oh, can I have the death strat so I can try it myself or something. So, yeah. Okay, next one. So I am doing one click. I'm not doing multiple clicks. I'm just doing one. Ooh. Okay, Angmar. Yep, Angmar. Yep. So that's going to be in the little other section here. So this is going to be the evil faction pairing. So it's going to be separate. So it won't be Angmar and Dorwinian or something like that. It won't be. It won't, because it will just be... Because it won't work, will it? If you're a good... If it's a good versus evil hot seat, but someone's playing Angmar and Dorwinian, it'd just be stupid. So we'll take that option off the list, and I got a little record of it here, so that's quite handy. It's quite cool that I like this little rule spin. It's really cool. I'll have to keep them. Might have to leave the link in the description, so if anyone else wants to use it, it's really handy. And you can save it and open new ones and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. So yes, that's the pairings there. Next lot. Ooh, that's quite an interesting one. Dale and Dorwinian. So we're putting them together. Nice little alliance of the Northmen there, which is pretty cool. Might have to call it that, possibly, but we'll do that all off camera. So when you go onto this channel, onto this Discord, when you go onto the Discord and to this information chamber, then you'll see the names will be probably it will be moved around basically, but this is just a little default thing for now. So yeah, that's them, which is cool. We're taking them off the list. And then let's do the next one. But yes, I'm quite looking forward to seeing this hot seat go. I will be doing some more hot seats, and we'll probably Gondor. So I'll probably be doing some more hot seats after this. It's just about me having the time to do them all. So Gondor is one. But yeah, I probably will be doing the two factions per player, because I think it works really well. And obviously this will be the true test to see if it does work very well. But if I feel it works quite well in this hot seat, then I probably will be doing it for more future ones. So take Gondor off the list. So that's Gondor, and then we'll see what is next. What I might do is actually do the shuffle after each option, but it doesn't matter. Ooh. Okay, so Ered, Luin, and Gondor. That's quite an interesting combination. By the way, the clapping is this app. It's not me. I'm not doing that. So okay, that's one. So what I'll do, I will actually do the shuffle after each one option, just to make it different. It doesn't really matter. The last 5 options, it's fine. So Gondor and Ered Luin, quite an interesting combination. Quite a powerful combination. Ered Luin is a powerful faction. Dwarven units are fairly powerful. So yeah. So quite an interesting spread out campaign there. So you've got Ered Luin's up here and Gondor's down here. So you're a bit spread out. So you can do plenty of other things. Dale and Dorwinian's obviously they've been quite paired together. So they'll be probably focusing on Rune. And probably be easier to coordinate efficiently. Right. Let's go. So I'll do the shuffle after each option. But I think this is how we'll do it. So depending on what hot seat it is, so say if it's like Westeros Total War, we might do like a little thing where we customize the pairs. But of course, depending on what it is, so with say Clash of Kings start date, it's a little difficult because the Clash of Kings start date, it's sort of, you're already into set alliances, set lore alliances and stuff like that. So you're already in, so in keeping with the lore, you're already into alliances. You have alliances that you're a part of already, so you can't really like play as the Lannisters. So play as House of Joffrey and House of Stark. It sort of doesn't really make any sense. So certain hot seats won't do it, but certain hot seats, say like Elder Scrolls Total War, Fear Redux, I think that would be perfect options for it, and possibly Staying Still and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll be doing some more hot seats as time goes on. And also for those that are new to hot seats that are watching this video and you'll want to get involved, then I absolutely recommend you do so. Don't be too afraid, like if you think, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough as some other players or good enough to play. Don't worry about that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're shit or good or whatever. I'm happy to take you. Just as long as you are active and you play your turns on time and don't vanish for like 2 months. But if you do need to vanish for 2 months, then at least let me know. So that's Lothlorien there. And let's do it again. What have we got here? Ooh, Rohan. Okay, that's interesting. Lothlorien Rohan. Which is pretty good actually, because Rohan and Lothlorien are actually right next to each other. Which I will show here. So Lothlorien's there and Rohan's there. So quite a decent little faction set to play together. So you can focus on Isengard and Dol Guldur with playing as the same faction. So it's quite handy. Rohan is going to be a devastating faction in this hot seat because they have cavalry. And this is obviously a manual hot seat. So cavalry will be used quite efficiently, I think. So that'd be interesting to see there. So that's Lothlorien and Rohan. I haven't got many evil factions just yet, but I'm sure we will in a second. So did I shuffle that? I did, yeah. Let's do it again. Okay. Yeah, Rohan and Lothlorien, quite a powerful combination because elves are powerful, and so is so elven archers are quite powerful. Ooh, what's gonna happen here? Okay, and wife. That's interesting. Cool. Don't want to highlight that up a bit as well. So Angmar and Ered Luin and wife. So that's quite an interesting combination because and wife starts here. Obviously, keep in mind there's no auto expansion. The auto expansion script is for AI factions because everyone's going to be controlling the faction. There will be no auto expansion. Of course, if I feel like there needs to be a bit more balance into some of the evil factions that start with smaller regions, then obviously that's for the people to test. So when you get the start save, feel free to test that, and feel free to obviously bring up. So if you feel like there should be a buff to Dol Guldur, let me know, and I'll happily add some more units to that faction. I'm not going to probably because I'm not massively skilled with modding, so don't expect wonders. But I won't be going through the I won't be able to like give out settlements to factions. I'm just going to be buffing up the amount of money you get and the amount of units you get as well. Which is something I've already done for Khazad-dûm and the Ardenheim, because they start off with like 1 settlement and need a bit of buff to those settlements, to those factions, sorry. I'm not feeling the best, so apologies if I slur or just say things wrong, then I do apologise for that. But I don't feel particularly great, so it's a wonder I'm making this video in the first place. But we will power on, And it has been a while since I've done anything recording related anyway. If you are wondering where I've been for the last few months, I'd recommend you check... Oh, that was close. I'd recommend you watch the last video uploaded, which is the important announcement and the important announcement and... what was I going to say? Ah, fuck, I forgot to take the option out. The important announcement video and obviously the little poll that we're doing... on that video, so I recommend you watch that. This is quite useful in a little more tips as to what's going on with the channel and what the direction of the channel is going to be shortly. There's a lot of stuff going on with the channel, so keep your eye out. So I'd recommend you watch that video and also take part in the poll that I put up as well. That's quite interesting, especially if you want to see a bit more variety in terms of content. So Shadow of Mordor, that's first of all, that's obviously the main faction leader of the evil factions, I suppose, if that makes any sense. So that's Mordor. Let's spin it again. And see what happens next. Oh, okay. Ooh. Oh, okay. Just on Erebor, my god. Crazy. Okay, so that's Erebor. So a nice powerful faction there. We'll remove them now. It will just be evil faction left the way it looks. So you got Erebor, and then we'll spin it again to see who gets what. But yes, there's a lot of new stuff coming to the channel, so I'd recommend you watch that video. I think it's going to be quite. There's a lot of fun stuff coming, and I'm so excited to bring that to you very soon. Okay, so there you go. Easterlings of Rune and Mordor. Quite a nice combination there. Obviously, Rune starts literally nearby to Mordor, so Mordor's not in a bad position to maybe come up and help if need be, as it's going to be one player controlling these two factions. But obviously, Mordor has a difficult task ahead of them with fighting Gondor, so it will definitely need his eastern allies. So that's them out of it. So Rune. So let's do it again. We'll hopefully leave some music in the background of this video. Okay, Dol Amroth. Interesting. That's quite a powerful faction because you've got these Swan Knights and they're very powerful. So Erebor and Dol Amroth, which is quite interesting. Dol Amroth starting down here and Erebor up here, so you're quite a fair distance from each other. But I think you'll definitely have a bit of fun. I think it's quite unique and quite fun if you're playing as a faction that's literally not next to your faction, because you can You can fight wars on different fronts. You can go down to Harad and the Ardenheim and fight them. Or as Erebor, you can go and fight Gunterbad and Rune and stuff like that. So I think that's quite fun. But yeah, that's them. Erebor and Dol Amroth. I will save this just in case something happens. Yeah, I've taken them out now. Yeah. But shuffle again. I think I forgot to shuffle it a few times, but it doesn't matter. I doubt it makes much difference in the wheel spinner, really, but there you go. Ooh, it's gonna be a close one. Ooh, Khazad-dûm. Okay, Lordship of Khazad-dûm. Now that's quite a difficult faction because you do start off with one region and you do border the goblins immediately. So quite an interesting faction. I have obviously buffed up Balin's company, so Balin has a more bigger army, and so yeah, it'd be quite interesting there to see how someone does with them. Anyway, let's move down here. So Lordship of Khazad-dûm. With Balin and Oin. So you have like two generals, so I'd recommend you start adopting as soon as you can. Take them off the list, and then we spin it again. And now halfway. Oh. This is going to be the Wood Elves. Yeah, the Realm of Erangel and Khazad-dûm. That's quite an interesting combination. Quite a, yeah, definitely a powerful combination because you're playing as an Elven faction and a Dwarven faction, and both of those factions have decent, very good units. Dwarves definitely in terms of their infantry, and Elves definitely in terms of their archers. And I guess you could say the infantry as well, but I'd probably say archers is the Elves' best trait. So we'll take them off the list now. So that's quite interesting. Khazad-dûm and Erangel, obviously Erangel starts here, and Khazad-dûm's down here. So you're not too far away from each other. So definitely very interesting there. So yeah, that's them. So spin it again. I forgot to do the shuffle. Damn it. Oh well, doesn't matter. I'm sort of rushing this slightly because I do have to go out in like 20 minutes. So I don't want this video to be like 4 hours long. Okay, the Vale of Anduin. Nice. So put them down. That's an interesting faction to play. And then we'll do the spinny wheel again. Spinny wheel. Ooh, is he going to be doing anything? Ooh. No, just an Isengard. So that is Isengard. So we put them down there as well. We're going to be getting to more of the evil factions now, because we've sort of done the main parent. So Isengard. Remove them. Shuffle again. Spin it again. Okay, looks like it's going to be Dunland. That's quite interesting, because Dunland and Isengard are start off allied together, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they do anyway. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure they start off allied. But yes, that's quite interesting because obviously Dunland and Isengard start literally next to each other. Dunland's right there and Isengard's literally right there, so they're in the prime position to help each other against Rohan. So that's quite interesting to see there. We'll take him off the list now. Okay, so let's see if it's a good faction this time around. But yeah, let me know, obviously, other hot seat recommendations, because obviously there's quite a lot of hot seats out there. So feel free to let me know what hot seats you like to see in future. Obviously, keep in mind, it does take a while for me to set these up, so, and obviously a while for me to find the players and stuff like that. So for those that are interested in hot seats, please do get involved. It's the best way to keep the hot seat community going if new people keep getting involved, because obviously if people don't, the hot seat community will just die, and that's that. I don't want it to die. I've built this hot seat community for a while now on my Discord, for nearly 2 years now. It is 2 years. So for 2 years I've had this hot seat community going, and I'd love for it to expand even more, and hopefully it does as the channel grows in number. So anyway, Ladris and Linden and Anduin, quite an interesting combination. The Anduin being there, and the elves starting in Ladris and over in the Grey Haven. So quite interesting starting positions there for the two factions. Okay. Alright, let's spin it again. So actually, it looks like it's going to be Breland and the Dunedain, which is going to be one set now, which is quite cool. Which is definitely going to happen. But I won't put it together yet. Put Moria in. Obviously, it's going to be Bree and the Dunedain, but I won't put it in just yet. I'll let the wheel do that. Right, shuffle again. Ooh, it's going to be the Ardenheims. It's just going to go on to Mirkwood. No, it's going to be the Ardenheim. Okay, that's quite an interesting combination. The Ardenheim and the Goblins of Moria. I like that. That's quite funny. Okay, so Moria being the faction starting here, and the Ardenheim down here. So another faction where you're another sort of set of factions where you're quite far apart from each other. So that's that. So we'll spin it again. Oh, yep, it's going to be canned. When it gets to like the last 4 options, I'll probably just put them into the notepad manually. Okay, varieties of canned. Interesting. It's always fun doing this because it's just like the wonder of what faction will get picked and what order, what sort of order they'll be put together, which would be cool. Okay, Gundabad, yeah, okay, Gundabad and canned. That is certainly an interesting option. There you go. So canned and Gundabad, obviously canned starts off down here, and Gundabad in the north, so quite far apart from each other once again. But you could definitely try and get canned forces moving north to help you against Erebor. So that's quite interesting to see there. And now we're down to the last 4 options. So Eredor, Breland, Eriador, Breland, and Harad and Mirkwood. So that's quite interesting. So we'll put them together in their own little section now. And then we'll go through. And then of course we'll go through what their starting position and stuff are like. I'm not going to go through. I'm not going to open up the mod and show you everything. I don't need to do that. If you wanna look, you can look for yourself. I'm not going to go through and do that. So Harad and Mirkwood, and that is it for the vote. So I will not the vote for the wheel spinner. So I will close it down now, and there you go. So Dunedain and Bree obviously start literally right next to each other, so in a quite decent position, so you can definitely work quite well together, and especially when it comes to fighting Angmar and Moria and Dun and Ed wife and all that. So that's quite good to see. And of course Mirkwood and Harad both start with 1 regions, one region, not 1 region, so that doesn't make any sense. So Dol / Mirkwood starts up here, so right next to Anduin, so that's sort of your prime target, as well as the elves. And Harad obviously has a lot of rebel regions to gobble up before turning their attention to Gondor. So, okay. So yes, that is it for this video. Those are the parents. I will make sure to put them into their own little thing later on. You'll see when you actually click on this Discord server later on. And obviously after then I will be changing everything, and it should all look very nice and different. But that's all for now, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys are looking forward to this hot seat. And for those who are interested, please do get involved. I'm absolutely welcoming anyone. As long as you are active, I'm happy for anyone to join. And also keep in mind, it's a turn-based thing. So obviously, you'll only ever play when your turn comes. So it won't be like a multiplayer thing where you have to like come online at a certain, as well as everyone else. It won't be like that. That's not how hot seats work. I'll give you a bit of example. This is just how it works here. So someone uploads a turn, and it's Potato's turn to play, and then you have like 48 hours per turn. And obviously in this hot seat in particular, so what happens at the turn order will be like Dwayne and Dale together. So when your turn comes, you'll be able to play both those factions. And basically what happens is that you'll have 24 hours to play each faction. So in turn, that'll be a 48 hours each. So when your turn comes, that is when your time starts. So right now, Potato's time has started. So he's already had 24 hours. And he still hasn't done it. Oh no, he has actually requested an extension, so that's fine. So yeah, so when the turn gets sent, that's when your time starts. So what will happen is you'll get 24 hours to play each turn. Now, what might happen is and this has happened in some hot seats, where if in the event the factions are getting quite big, and there's a lot more effort going into each turn, then what I might do is perhaps set up a vote, and people can vote to extend the time limit to, say, 72 hours, or perhaps 96 hours, possibly. Or maybe longer if I feel like it needs more than that. But I think it will just be 96 hours. I don't think it will go anything more than 96, because that would just be pushing it, I think. But, yes. But yes, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. I probably will be shifting some focus towards, so we'll be seeing some more campaign-style videos now, because I'm sort of done with these types of videos. And then so what I'm going to be doing next is probably going to be doing some Casa Doom episodes and Stark series episodes. As well as I'll probably be playing a bit of the Game of Thrones Telltale series, so you'll see that soon. And at some point, you'll hopefully see the Dunedain and the Evil Faction co-op series that should be starting at some point in the coming week's time. Now, I haven't really got a date down for it yet, so it'll just happen when it happens. But I'll keep an eye out for that. That'll be very interesting when the time, of course, comes. But yes, that's all for now. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, and farewell.